Thank you guys for tuning in into my channel. This is Benyarko again, bringing you another lesson in jazz piano technique. So last time I left off talking about tritone substitutions and you know how to use it. Again, this is more of a part 2 of my tritone substitution. And today we're going to continue where I left off and also try and find a shortcut into using the tritone substitution in the 251. Let's use the key of C, and then we'll go over the chords and solo. So the key of C, right? So a 251 in C, I'm going to use root position, all right? Will be a D minor, a G7, and a C major 7. Remember, the tritone substitution is always used on the 5 chord or the dominant chord. You can use it various places, but usually it's used there. So let's take you know, the tritone substitution in the key of C. We have a D minor 7. I'll play this voicing for D minor 7. All right. All right. Very easy voicing. Okay. Root 5th, 7th, 9th, minor, 5th, 7th. Then the 5, right? I have a G7, 9, and then to the 1. Okay, the 1, that's the voicing I use. A very common way I play my 251 voicing. Remember, just as I played in the beginning with Solar, I played various things with it because you know, I practice how different octaves and different voices sound. So I play this commonly, but I can also play like this. All right, I could use even Barry Harris chords, right? Okay, so it'll sound like this: G minor 7. Alright, 251. So just importance of playing it, practicing different ways of playing the voicings. You can even use shells like Bill Evans. It's not my style to use them, but like I said, in jazz you have to study all the parts. So I could use shells. I could do something like a G minor 7 to a C, G7, a D minor 7, sorry, to a G7, and then to the 1 there. Like if Bill Evans was playing, you know, he usually does that. Bill Evans, people like Bill Evans, Errol Garner, Red Garland, they use the shell voicings a lot, right? Amar Jamel does too. So okay, so back to the tritone substitution. So if I take the 251 in C and doing the tritone substitution, right? I would substitute the G7 for what chord? Take the G, take the 5th of that note, and then you flat it. So I would substitute the G7 for a C sharp 7. Okay, so it would sound like this: to a C sharp 7, to a C7. Again, it will sound like this. Okay? Instead of playing, I'm doing this. Okay. Now a shortcut to using trap substitution is, if you look at the substitution, right? G minor, flatted, right? First chord, flatted fifth of the G7, which is a C sharp 7. I'm using this voicing, which has root third, seventh, ninth, the fifth, and the sixth, and then back to a C major chord, right? If you look at that substitution, it's almost like I'm moving chromatically from the 2 to the 1. So instead of doing a 2, 5, 1, it looks like I'm doing it chromatically, going like this. Okay? So when you're in the 2-5-1, another easy shortcut to using the 2-5-1 is to think about it as going chromatically from the 2 to the 1. Again, right? E minor to a C sharp 7, which is the flatted fifth of the G chord, to the 1. So let's take another scale, the F scale. So 2-5-1 will be G minor 7 to the C7 to the F major scale, right? 2, 5 to the 1. Okay, again, it sounds pretty because I practice how that sounds, right? You can play it like this also. You know, different ways. So G minor 7, instead of playing the C7 next, you do the flatted fifth of C7. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With a G, you flat the G, which is F sharp or G flat, same thing, right? And then you play the 1, the F major chord, right? Again, you can do that, or think about the shortcut, which is I'm moving. It's almost like I'm moving chromatically from the 2 to the 1. So G minor 7, F sharp 7 to the 1, right? Right? That's what I'm doing, almost. G minor 7. Okay, again. Right? Again, I would use that same thing without that different voicing. Right? Right? Okay, you see how that sounds over there. G minor to the C7, flat 5, which is what? F sharp 7 to the the 1 of the F, which is F major 7. Okay? So that's basically it. Now, I sometimes either play that, or I just play the chord, like the C7 chord, and just add a flatted fifth. You know, you can play like that, or you can play the C7, move it to the flat fifth, and then back to the 1. Let me show you how that sounds. So, again, we're using the key of F, 2-5-1, which is G minor 7, F7, and then, G minor 7, C7, and then F7, right? F major 7. So 2-5-1, sometimes I go G minor 7, using this voicing, do the C7, move it to the flat fifth really quickly, and then play the F major 7. It's a way to bring tension and movement, right? So just like I would use the, Barry Harris chord, 2-5-1. This way I'm just doing, right? And, easy ways, again, practicing, okay? So let me play solar, and again, you can even harmonize melodies that way using tritones, but that's for another lesson, okay? In my beginning video, you even saw me harmonize the melody with Barry Harris voices, okay? Instead of do, right? Instead of do what I did was use Barry Harris voices, right? So it will just enrich your harmony, okay, by practicing the tritone substitution. Again, this is K Benyarko. If you need to contact me for lessons, private lessons, check out my website, kbenyarkomusic.com, or email me at kbenyarkomusic at gmail.com. All right. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing. Again, without your support, I wouldn't be able to do these lessons. So I do appreciate your comments and your subscriptions.